Hi, my name is Sean Rumble. Welcome to a video tutorial on how to navigate your classes on the new learning environment platform called Brightspace. Now, before I get into more in depth of 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 how you'll be able to go through accessing classes to class materials and such. A few important a few important things that all viewers that are watching this video should take note of. It's the first time that everyone will be using the new learning platform called Brightspace, unless you were at a different university. All CUNY colleges will be making uh all CUNY colleges will be making the change to Brightspace across the CUNY nation, not just Queens College in particular. All all of the CUNY institutions across CUNY will be transitioning to using Brightspace over the next 3 years. That's right, over the next 3 years. Queens College is one of the first universities that will be using the new interface of Brightspace starting in the summer 2024 semester. Now, for more other notable important things that you should note of is if you have not watched my video tutorial on how to access Brightspace, how to log into Brightspace in general, the stuff that I'm about to go over here will not make any sense until you get your Brightspace set up on your end as a from a student's view, from a student's perspective. So if you for viewers that are watching this video, if you have not watched my YouTube tutorial on how to access and navigate the Brightspace learning platform and how to get into it, I highly recommend and suggest that you watch that video. So that way, what I'm about to go over here will make a lot more sense as this is a continuation from that video. So please watch that video on your own time when you get a chance to. For viewers that have already watched my YouTube video tutorial on how to access and navigate the Brightspace learning platform, this is a continuation of a more in-depth look of how to navigate your class and classes on Brightspace. So let's dive in and get started. So once you have logged into Brightspace, this will be your homepage. Now, as you can see here, this is where your course or courses are going to get made available here. This is where you see your list of class and classes being listed right here in front of my screen here. Down here at the bottom on my screen on the right, this is like your to-do list of your assignment or assignments that you have for your classes that are due soon. And you just click on the class, to access it. So this is what it looks like from my end as a student's perspective. So on here, you're gonna see all the stuff for your classes on Brightspace, such as your syllabus, course materials, readings, and your assignments. And on the right of my screen, as you see here, your class announcements within the class from your instructor or instructors. And on the right here, as I'm scrolling down, this is where you could find your class announcements within your class or classes that your professor or professors post for your class. So for instance, so how would new viewers learning this new Brightspace platform be able to view the system. So click on syllabus, as you see here. You would then be given, so you click on this, you will click on, and I'll circle it, click on this little drop down arrow here on the next to the attached document here, which would then give you the option to download it. And in here you could see in here where all your stuff, all your class materials will be for your classes. Like for instance, if I were to click in here, like in the intro photo, this is where you will where where all students will be able to find all the attached handouts that your professor provides on the class here that you can download and save on your computer for reference or references. So as you can see here, these are all the stuff that, where you'll be able to find stuff. And as you can see here, this is where you'll also be able to find readings that your professors have attached from this class. So this is the section where you go to find readings. And the same thing for assignments. Whatever assignments you have for your classes, if there are any participation assignments and such, that's where you'll be able to find it. And you see, here's a great view. Here's a great view of, in the assignment section, which you can find up here. All your stuff you can find within your class is up here at the top of my screen here, from course home, content, announcements, assignments, quizzes, discussions, Queens College Library, grades, and in the more tab here at the top of my screen here. So now let's go into a little bit. So let's go into so where to find quizzes. Well, really, it's actually called homework assignments. Viewers can call this as your homework assignment, which is not an exam, but this is where you'll find your homework assignments here. You can click here, and in here you'll find that there's an assignment here that I have here, and it shows you the amount of attempts you have. And in here, this is where you see the more details about the quiz, such as the description of the homework assignment or quiz, whichever would call it quiz, you can call it homework assignments. For viewers that are watching this, the user that's doing this, the time limit, availability, the number of attempts that your professor has set for doing the assignment, and the instructions here. Now viewers that are watching this video, take notice. Well, as you can see here, there will be time limits. There will be time limits, as you see here, for doing for some assignments. There will be time limits, and others there will not. That all depends on your professors for your classes, and they have the ability to set the time limit, whether they should have a specific time limit to complete an assignment, quiz, and such, or not, and not have any time limits. And you will as you'll see me click here on this bottom, continue quiz, you would then notice this thing up here called time elapsed next to my assignment here. Now, viewers, please take note of this. This is very important here. This does not mean that this assignment is timed. Rather, this is the amount of time you have spent within this assignment. Now, one very important thing that viewers should also take away from here is if your assignment is not timed and you cannot complete your quiz or homework assignment in one sitting, yes, you can come back to it later. As long as you do not do this, as long as you do not press the submit quiz or homework assignment button. To be able to successfully get out of a quiz or homework assignment that's not time, just simply go up here to this little red X button next to the time elapsed. As you see on my screen here, pointed in green. And you're going to see this little X button. That what this will do, this will close the quiz. And you'll get something like this. As I mentioned, this is the timer there does not indicate that this assignment is timed, which as you saw there, that depends on the professor or professors of your classes that will set the modality of assignment, whether it's timed or not. This is the timer of the amount of time spent within the assignment. So this will be the message you'll get when you're trying to close an assignment. So as you see here on my screen, circled in green. And in this case, I will press exit. And as you can see here, the attempt was not eaten. As you can see here, this attempt was not eaten up and my attempt was saved. I know it might look a little different how the old fashioned CUNY Blackboard that we're all used to seeing that, that we can use. There's like the save all answers button that we could press on an assignment that we can resume working on an assignment later. But that's how that on Brightspace, that's how you will continue a quiz or homework assignment that's not time. So please take note of that. Very important. Now, I didn't talk about this in the previous video there were in my video tutorial on how to access and navigate Brightspace. Well, this tab is new on here because this is when you have your class or classes available. You can access your grades by clicking on the grades tab here. And in this grades tab, you see you'll see you'll see your list of your assignments, your tests or exams, your final grade, your homework assignments, participation assignments, if there is such thing, one test, and such. That's how you'll see your grades on Brightspace. On Blackboard, it's on CUNY Blackboard, it's very similar. That says my grades. On Brightspace, this is called the grades tab, which you'll see here. Now here, as you see at the top of the ribbon, you'll see this tab here called discussion. This is where you'll be able now viewers that are used to the old CUNY Blackboard, we used to see the discussion boards tab section on the left-hand side on Blackboard where we could just click to. On this new interface platform called Brightspace, that discussion boards tab can be found right up here on the top of the screen here where it's at where my green circle is with the arrow pointing it. That's where you'll find discussions. Now, of course, and this is where you'll see your discussion board assignments being posted here by your professors to comment on classmates' posts and such. And as you can see here on my screen, well, of course, I don't have any discussion board assignments for this class this semester, but normally they were a discussion board assignment or discussion board assignments, if there's more than one, will appear here in this section here on Brightspace. In this more tab here, if you click on the more tab right here, as you see on my screen here, circled in green, the green arrow there, this is where you'll be able to find your virtual classroom, your class progress, and your class list. So let's say class progress, for instance. This is where you'll be able to track your progress for your classes here, such as the summary, the grades, the content, your discussions, your assignments, your quizzes, or known really as your homework assignments, if you want to call that, your checklists, surveys, course access, and such. This is where you'll find all. This is where you'll find all the info here. This is where you find all your info here. If you want to see a summary of the class, here's a great way how to go. There's a quick way how to go to it right here. Now, what if you want to see? Now, what if you want to see your professor as well as who was in your class or classes? There's a tab for that called class list. As you see right here that I have circled in green here, this is called class list. So when you click on the class list, it will take you to this page right here. And there's an easier way you could, now, of course, there on the old CUNY Blackboard, that old CUNY Blackboard interface that we previously dealt with prior to the transition here to Brightspace, you know, that there's some stuff in here on Brightspace that actually makes it a lot more easier to find than actually what CUNY Blackboard didn't. Like for instance, like you can email the class list, which is a lot easier and more direct to do than what CUNY Blackboard previously did. And you can also do a filter here to further search what you're looking for, like such as searching by first name, last name, like specific search types. You could select you could select the role of the you could select the role of the person that you're trying to look that you're looking for, like your professors or your classmates, if any particular one. And of course, well, not that that is relevant, but online status, well, that's irrelevant in this case, but yeah. So now how would you wanna like if you wanted to select a group of students, to get, to communicate them, all you gotta do is select one of the classmates. Like for instance, select this one. Now you this is a way you gotta how you communicate. You press the email icon that's on the middle left of the screen, as you see on my screen here, circled in green. You press this. It would then open up a new pop-up window here that shows you something like this. That shows you like this. As you see here, a circle on my screen here in green. Compose new message. Now this is very similar. This is very similar to how we used to uh compose messages on CUNY Blackboard by just going to the in the tools tab, and then to select users, and then you will get to select the people you want to select to contact on Blackboard. Here, it's very similar like it, except that, of course, it's a more organized way. But except the one thing is when you select them, they will go to the BCC section, which that's an easy fix here. As you can see, you could just simply type manually type the name that you want to send it to, and you can CC your classmates on Blackboard in this section right here, CC, and then you know the message that you want to compose. The message that you want to compose will go here. You will go here. Now here's a new twist. There's a new twist to this that wasn't previous that on CUNY Blackboard that you not that you have not seen, that only Brightspace has this feature. And this is called the priority. As you see here on my screen here, circled in green with the green arrow pointing to it, this is where you could select the importance of it, or known as the priority. if you're trying to communicate with your fellow classmates or your professors directly on Blackboard on this class, you could set the priority on here, such as low priority, regular priority, or high priority, aka high importance. This feature was not previously available on Blackboard, and it wasn't at all to anybody that was using CUNY Blackboard. On Brightspace, this is how you could select your importance of however important it is. And of course, the same old subway like you did on similar like CUNY Blackboard, you can upload your file here, or choose, or you could choose in your existing file like you always do. Now, here's another new twist here that Brightspace has on here under the attachments, as you see here. This little thing right here next to the uploads icon called record. This feature was not available on CUNY Blackboard from what I recall. And this is a feature that will only be exclusively on Brightspace. As you see here, this record feature drop down right here. And in this feature, you could select to either upload a recorded video or whatever you want to record of, or a recorded audio, also known as a voiceover recorded audio that you want to upload in in the message that you want to compose on Blackboard. Once you have finished composing your message on Blackboard, scroll down to the bottom of the screen. As you see me circled here in green with the green arrow pointing to it, click send, and your message will be sent to whatever users that you selected on Brightspace, and it will be sent to a given email address exclusively from Brightspace. As you see here, circled in as you see on my screen here, circled in green with the green arrow pointing, this is the email address that you will see when you're sending it via Brightspace. This email address. Now, do also note that yes, you will some use that some some Brightspace message that you send to your classmates will some like the delivery system will fail. Like for instance, this is a perfect notable example of it. You see, as you see here on my screen, as you see here on my screen, that this is the email not the email, excuse me, the participant that I selected on Brightspace, returned me with a whole bunch of junk junk on here because this because and why is that? As you see here, and sometimes and viewers should take note of this because you will get something like this. You'll get something like this. An error message will return with whether the participant or participants that failed to deliver whatever message you were trying to send on Brightspace. Either as and you can and this is a perfect notable example of that very thing of the error message that you're trying to that 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 the person who is trying to send a message via Brightspace will have encountered. So, but yeah, that's that's basically how you access your class or classes on Brightspace. I hope you found this video tutorial on how to access your class/classes on Brightspace to be helpful. Thank you for watching.